Hey, welcome in, everybody. Good Wednesday evening. Hopefully, we're having an all right time out there. Got, unfortunately, a lot to talk about as we have ongoing tornado warnings across portions of Alabama and Mississippi. So, those are going to be the first big hitter topics tonight. I will ask if you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know in the chat. Also, go ahead, let me know where you're watching from. Hopefully, we can get some people in here from Alabama and Mississippi again to kind of talk about this threat that could be pretty serious here as we have, again, these newly issued tornado warnings that we're going to really get right into. All right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Obviously, we're going to be talking about this for a while, so no need to wait for everyone to kind of filter in. I will ask briefly, if you haven't already, again, go ahead, like the stream, subscribe, hit the bell for the latest notifications, all the fun stuff. But unfortunately, again, let's talk about some tornado warnings. So, first one immediately jumping out to me here is this lone supercell, excuse me, into portions of southeastern Alabama. This one beginning to get its act together, folks. And if we kind of zoom out and give you kind of familiar with what we're looking at here, here's Montgomery. Kind of circled here. Up here is Birmingham. This is down near Thomasville, Alabama, not far from Monroeville, Alabama. Again, a newly issued tornado warning. You can see the lightning firing up with this. This is right near Coffeyville right now. If we switch on over to our velocity signature, you can see that tight rotation here. So we've got winds kind of going this way towards Coffeyville and then away from Coffeyville. Again, just south of the US 84 corridor here. This is where we have that tight couplet of rotation. And lightning really picking up with this storm. It's got plenty of wind shear to work with. That is not a problem, unfortunately, tonight. It also is running into some pretty good instability that's allowing this storm to kind of get its act together and really tightening up the rotation. So this is going to head towards the Grove Hill area of Alabama. This is going to move towards Fulton. Again, going to cross US Highway 84, not far from Clarksville, Zimco, and then up towards the Chilton area and eventually towards Springfield, Alabama. Again, a pretty tight mesocyclone here. Now we can take a look and see if we have any debris getting lofted right now. The good news, I don't see a stout signature of any sort of debris, but again, the rotation is strong on this one. So obviously, if you're in this polygon, if you're in this warning area, go ahead and get to the lowest level of your house. Find an interior room if you don't have a basement, no windows. A bathtub works, something strong and concrete, a stairwell if it's, again, in the interior of your house. Those are the places you're going to want to be with this storm. Again, just south of Coffeyville, Alabama, heading towards the Grove Hill area and the Thomasville area of Alabama. Counties here, let's see if we can find the counties involved in this warning. So this is for South Central Choctaw and North Central Washington and Northern Clark County, Alabama. Radar indicated rotation right now. Also $half size hail looks to be a concern out of that storm. So that's kind of the latest there. With that one, we can also zoom out a little bit more. Another tornado warning further out towards portions of southern Mississippi. And by the way, I'll let y'all not let y'all in on a secret, but I've got my buddy Rowan moderating right now. So everyone go ahead and say hello, Rowan, in the chat. He's also a meteorology student at UNC Charlotte and nice enough to moderate for me tonight. So you might see him hovering around the chat. So definitely say hi to him and let him know where you're watching from. He's going to kind of help us keep things nice and organized tonight, hopefully. So again, the biggest concern is this storm out near Coffeyville. To the south, new cells also firing up that I'm watching. These not warned yet. We'll take a look at them in a second. But the other more, I guess, important warning right now, this near Collins, Mississippi, counties on this one, we'll go ahead and give you the latest. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Seminary or near Collins, Mississippi, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. So this thing is booking it, folks. The counties here are Southern Smith, Covington, and northwestern Jones County in Mississippi. Kind of a historical county that one is, Jones County, Mississippi. If you know kind of the history behind that one, big during the Civil War. Won't get into that, but there's your little history lesson of the day. Definitely looking active, though, out of this one. We'll take a look at velocity as well. and see what we're running into. Very sharp couplet. Again, this just north of Seminary. This is a very strong mesocyclone, and this is moving towards the Laurel area. We've seen big tornadoes in this part of Mississippi before. 2020 comes to mind. We had, I think, EF3, EF4, maybe two of them in this area, and this storm means business. You can, spot it easily. If I zoom out and I ask you, where's the rotation, you'll probably immediately point right here to these very bright colors kind of touching each other, indicating that we have a strong mesocyclone. Now we'll take a look to see if we have any kind of debris on this one. Again, nothing jumping out, screaming that we have a big debris signature. That's good. We'll hope that it stays that way here. But nonetheless, a powerful looking storm out of that one. Let's kind of see if we have... yeah, all right. So I'm checking another radar off to the side here. Nothing showing up on correlation coefficient, folks, but I'll tell you, this is definitely an interesting, a concerning looking storm. So you kind of notice a little bit here. See this lack of rain right along US Highway 49. A little bit of a donut hole signature on this one, and that tells me that the updraft is very strong. And again, you can see that on the velocity. So all the rain that should be falling right there is getting thrown up into the sky by those very strong winds at the surface, kind of fueling the supercell. That's kind of why we have some of these lighter returns in here. That is definitely concerning, and that combined with the velocity, definitely indicative of a very strong supercell capable of producing a tornado. Now, I think NWS has this as radar indicated right now, so they don't have a confirmed one on this, but either way, looks to be very concerning with this one. All right, see if I can read a couple of comments here. Got Mac watching from Carrollton, Georgia. Thanks for tuning in. Unknown Chatter, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. It's an interesting name. Good to see you, Jazz. Had Jazz in here the other night. Got people watching from Columbia, South Carolina. Do I think Southwest Virginia gets flooded again? It's possible. A lot of rain on the way over the next week or so. So that'll definitely be a concern we need to watch. Right now, though, we're really going to kind of focus on these tornado warnings. It looks like same kind of polygon back here near Coffeyville. If we go ahead and kind of loop it in time, let's take a look at the velocity over time. And folks, down south of Coffeyville as well, we've got two new storms, two areas of kind of some broad rotation near Miltree and Chatham, Alabama, trying to get their act together. Not warned yet, but definitely getting there. And then obviously the stronger rotation crossing US Highway 84 just to the east of Coffeyville between Grove Hill and Coffeyville, Alabama, moving up towards the Thomasville and the Fulton area. But you get the idea. We've got one area of rotation, another area behind it, another area further to the south. These storms are rotating pretty easily this evening and could definitely cause some big problems. Another area of rotation up here to the north, it looks like. This could be a little bit of contamination. Let's see what this looks like on reflectivity. Yeah, also watching this area near Quitman, Mississippi. Not warned right now for a tornado. It's severe thunderstorm warning. Plenty of lightning, though, and a little bit of rotation right into here. Again, near Quitman, kind of you see how this little bit of the bow echo or the squall line is kind of pushing out from the rest. We kind of have one little embedded supercell here and another embedded supercell down to the south. You always got to watch those as well for the potential of some rotation to kind of try to ramp up pretty quickly. It can definitely do that pretty often. So watching for that as well. All right, I did want to also show you kind of the big picture here, folks. So what's causing all the chaos? Well, we've got obviously the South Bend into Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, Saginaw. We've got some snow back towards Chicago and a little bit of a dry slot right now, but back towards Davenport, Iowa City, seeing some good snow. That should swing back on through. Milwaukee getting good snowfall rates. So just a big active kind of jet stream pattern we've seen recently has been kicking up these storm systems. We've got the rain and severe threat to the south, and then we've got the snow up north, and that combination is definitely one that you don't see very often. Here, kind of one of those couple of times a year that we get this combination of severe weather and winter weather. Also seeing some ice back into Virginia, folks. I mean, we had some crazy ice totals into Roanoke, Blacksburg, back down towards Boone, into the Asheville area. I mean, we had some half an inch of ice totals more than enough to cause big problems, and that's exactly what we got out there. Some of the pictures are very impressive um, in that area. All right. But I had a little bit of drop in the stream there. Sorry. Internet doing some internet things. All right. Should hopefully be back now. All right, folks. So brand new now for the Thomasville storm. Looks like this has just been upgraded to a particularly dangerous situation. So if you don't know what this is a level up from a tornado warning. We now have a radar confirmed tornado. So I'll just read the text bulletin here straight from the NWS, this hot off the press. We've got, sorry, I'm also reading it on another screen here. All right, so a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 4 miles southeast of Coffeyville or 15 miles west of Grove Hill, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So this is now a confirmed tornado on the ground near Coffeyville, Alabama. If we'll go back to velocity, again, this shows us the rotation in the storm. And you can see just to the east of Coffeyville, just crossed US Highway 84. This moving towards Thomasville. If you or anyone you know lives in Thomasville, Alabama, go ahead, take cover, give them a call if it's not you, let your family members know. A strong, violent tornado now, a particularly dangerous situation, moving right into your neck of the woods. Also, McIntyre, Alabama, Chilton, Alabama, right here along Alabama Highway 154. If you live along that corridor between Chilton and McEntry, Alabama, probably is how you say that town name. Anywhere in there, Springfield, Alabama, Midway, Alabama, up towards Thomasville. You've got to be in the center room of your house, lowest level. If you've got a basement, get there. That's the place to be with this warning. Again, likely violent tornado on the ground, and we'll see if we have. Let's see, we look at correlation coefficient. Yeah, it looks like a debris signature. You see this big blue blob next to Coffeyville? That's not rotation. That's debris getting lofted up in the atmosphere. Yeah, check it out. That's a big debris signature, folks. So we've got to be in our safe place here. If you're east of Coffeyville, and if you're anywhere ahead of this, again, Thomasville, Alabama. If you or anyone you know lives in or around Thomasville, call them, let them know. Strong tornado on the ground moving into their area. It's on the way. Again, all this blue you see, that's debris getting thrown up into the atmosphere. So definitely a very, very violent tornado, it looks like. Go ahead and loop it a little bit and kind of watch the progression of this. So you see it went just south and east of Coffeyville and now moving right towards Thomasville. Yeah, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground near Coffeyville, Alabama. This is the state of Alabama, everybody. Look at the debris over time. So you'll kind of see it pop up here. We don't have a lot, and then you get this big explosion of blue as it's crossing US 84. This tornado likely picking up trees, maybe some sort of structures, homes, and you get that big signature of debris in the atmosphere. Again, if you're in Coffeyville, you should be in the clear now if you're in the city. Now, if you're east of there, not yet, stay in your safe place. But moving towards Thomasville, this one means business. Yeah, still very strong rotation on this. I think we have storm relative. Yeah, we've got storm relative velocity. Yeah, folks, so you see where that green and that blue are overlapping, or not overlapping, but or the green and the red rather. Promise I'm not colorblind. This is where the storm is rotating. So we've got a very strong mesocyclone here that is unfortunately producing a tornado moving towards Thomasville. So I know I keep repeating the same thing here. All right, we still also have this other tornado warning back into Mississippi. This one, not a particularly dangerous situation, unlike our Alabama storm. So that's the good news for folks here in Mississippi. But if you're in Laurel, Mississippi, or anywhere around there, go ahead and start taking cover in anticipation of this storm that is knocking on the doorstep. You can see kind of an embedded supercell within the line here. It's got that kind of kidney bean shape to it. That is indicative of a very high precipitation supercell. Funnily enough, just learned that today in class, actually. So going ahead and using it now. That's moving towards Laurel. In fact, we have a HazCam in Laurel, and we can probably look at it here and see what we're seeing. So you can see that storm moving in. This is into Laurel, Mississippi. And you can see the lightning flashing there. I mean, that's, yeah. See if I can zoom in on it a little bit for you. So you see that storm, this moving into Laurel, Mississippi. Look at the lightning, folks. That's a strong storm moving in. And then remember, this is tornado warned. What you're seeing, this is a live camera in Laurel, Mississippi, looking at a tornado warned storm moving in. By the way, if y'all are seeing any buffering on your end, I would suggest refreshing the feed. I had a little bit of a hiccup earlier, and sometimes YouTube lags it like through the rest of the stream if you don't refresh. So try that, and that should hopefully help you out. Again, folks, what we're looking at here, this is a live camera of a tornado-warned storm moving into Laurel, Mississippi. Another particularly dangerous tornado. Oh, look at that lightning strike! Wow, this is a very useful camera. We're going to stick on this one for a while. Yeah, we're starting to get some intense lightning. So, folks, what that tells me is the updraft of the storm is strong. There's a pretty simple equation for lightning. The stronger the updraft and the stronger the downdraft, the more lightning flashes you're going to get. So you increase the updraft speed, you get more lightning here. So you're seeing all this lightning. That's the storm rotating kind of. You're getting those strong updrafts, and with the wind shear, you're getting that corkscrew effect as those air parcels are rising up in the atmosphere, and that combining with all sorts of negative and positive charges, grapple, hailstones up in the storm, all colliding. It's leading to this lightning show. Again, moving into Laurel, Mississippi. You can see the town name there at the top left. And by the way, I'll add, this is WeatherWise. They have their own app. You can check it out, and you can see them moving the camera around. Looks like one heck of a shelf cloud there moving in as well. Looks like they might be trying to look for some rotation here with the HazCam. Definitely a fierce-looking storm here. All right, we've got some more folks joining in here. Everyone, welcome in. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you're seeing out there. Again, right now focusing on the severe weather threat. We've got this tornado threat to cover through the evening, and you can see that here with this storm working on through with some intense lightning coming on through Laurel, Mississippi. Also, got my buddy Rowan in chat moderating tonight, so if you're just joining, he'll be in and around kind of typing in things, and you can definitely say hey to him. So everyone thank Rowan as well in the chat for joining me tonight and joining all of us. Also, go ahead and like the stream if you haven't, folks. Let's try to get the word out about these storms rolling on through. We've got, again, a dangerous kind of setup here. We've got multiple tornado warnings. This that you're looking at right now is a tornado warning, moving again towards Laurel, Mississippi. I'll quickly show you kind of what this looks like on radar, and then we'll go back to the HazCam. Here's the storm we're looking at. So that view we just had, it's looking down this way into this storm. This is a mesocyclone, again, a supercell, whatever you want to call it. And look at the rotation in it. We've got strong rotation. A little bit easier if I go down to storm relative velocity. It should update here in a second, but you get the idea. We've got this couplet in here. That's that rotation. Luckily, right now, this is just radar indicated, so not screaming a massive tornado on the ground. Nothing on our correlation coefficient either. So good news, but obviously you look at the camera and you can get the sense that this is a pretty strong storm working on through here into portions of Mississippi, and then another big storm in Alabama as well that we're going to talk about here as well. All right. Let's so obviously we see the storm moving in here. Still, I mean, just absolutely pumping out lightning. Let's very quickly, I do want to mention, because it's a big deal, it's a big storm. We do have another storm back out into portions of Alabama. So this is still I believe we're still under a particularly dangerous situation with this one. Yes, this is still a particularly dangerous situation. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado is located 7 miles east of Coffeyville or 11 miles west of Grove Hill. So that is the latest there, that not from long ago. If we kind of look at where it's at now, the center of circulation, the good news, becoming a little bit more messy here. The storm's kind of blobbing out a little bit and running into some more stable air. So a slightly less threat than it once was, it looks like, but still seeing kind of some messy rotation in here out of this one. Again, this is moving towards Thomasville, Alabama. Just out of curiosity, our enhanced echo top. So what you're looking at here, this shows how tall up our storm is getting. And definitely a pretty tall one here just south of Thomasville. Not quite as tall as the storms back towards Laurel. Those storms even taller. In fact, we've got really strong or tall storms just south of Meridian out of this kind of segment that is continuing to track on through some of these same areas. All right, let's go back to that Laurel tower cam. You can see the kind of leading edge of that cloud beginning to move in here. Oops, sorry. Move this out of the way. Have to do some behind the scenes things. Yeah, so you can see that storm moving in. The good news here, generally whenever we get a look like this looks like a shelf cloud moving in. Most of the time, storms that are producing a shelf cloud, I'll kind of try to draw just the way that it's moving towards us here in the nicest way possible. That didn't really work, actually. Let me try it the other way. Maybe if I do it like this. There we go. That might look a little bit better. So generally speaking, this is probably more of an outflow dominant storm currently from this look. But the good news with the lightning is it kind of helps us look at the base a little bit more. So we'll see if we have any more kind of lowerings down here. I imagine, obviously, they're looking right where the rotation would be. So if we get a good lightning bolt, we might be able to kind of see if we have a wall cloud present or anything of that nature. All right, so Laurel, Mississippi now under a tornado warning officially. They just extended this warning. I'll go ahead and read the text bulletin for you out of this one while we're watching this. So let me pull it up. All right, so this is for the storm that we're watching right now roll in. Tornado warning for southeastern Jasper County in east central Mississippi, southwestern Clark County in east central Mississippi, northeastern Jones County in southeastern Mississippi. until 7:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. That's the storm we're looking at right now. Was located near Hebron or 9 miles northwest of Ellisville, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. This is radar indicated rotation right now. So that's the good news. Impact flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Soso and Laurel around 6:40 Central Time, Moss around 6:45 Central Time, Saundersville around 6:50 Central Time, Stafford Springs and Heidelberg around 7 Central Time, Goodwater around 7:05 Central, and then Barnett around 7:10 Central. So if you live in and around any of those communities in Mississippi, take cover, central room, a basement if you've got it, that would be preferred as we continue to watch this storm roll through right into Laurel. You can see the lightning still really kicking up here. We'll see if we get another lightning bolt. We might be able to try to pick something out here. Now, again, these are very high precip supercells currently. So the problem with that is it's hard to see much of anything out of it. All right, let's go back over to Alabama really quickly. We now have a newly issued tornado warning here. I'm going to just give me 1 second to refresh the page so it kind of works a little bit better with us. Running a little slow. There we go. See, nice and better. All right. So let's see. We might have, let's see, is this the closest radar site we have to the storm? I fear it might be. Let's see if the Montgomery radar site's going to do us any better. Evidently not. All right, we'll stick with Mobile. So again, this storm moving near Thomasville, newly extended tornado warning now includes a little bit past Thomasville here. Really the same areas though, and we're still seeing that this is capable of producing a tornado. Messier than it was, so we're not under a particularly dangerous situation anymore. That's the good news, and you can see the rotation's gotten a little bit more broad in here, but still a bit of a couplet moving right towards Thomasville. So that's the area we're watching for rotation. Correlation coefficient still showing a lot of blue. This is probably the leftover debris, honestly, that's still kind of scattered out throughout the atmosphere right now. If we time it out a little bit, you can kind of see what happens here. Is you get the big blow up in blue, that's the debris, and then see how it's kind of spreading out now. That tells me the storm probably not lofting it up anymore, but still carrying whatever it did, destroy with it. With that blue. So could still be a tornado producer, could just be cycling right now, could very well get back to, a big troublemaker here soon. So go ahead, play it safe, and follow the procedure here. In Thomasville, Alabama is the big city that is under the gun for that one. All right, let's look at the Laurel one again. Let's see if there might actually be better to use Jackson's radar for the Laurel storm. Okay, yeah, that's a concerning look for sure. Wow, yeah, that's pretty insane, folks. That is a tight couplet of rotation. This is passing just north of Laurel. Just north of Laurel, Mississippi. And I hate to keep doing it, but I mean, this is moving towards Saundersville. It's over Laurel right now. Let's just keep looking at the camera. I mean, this is as good of a look that you're going to get into this storm out of anywhere. So right here's your hook, folks. I mean, right here is probably somewhere in there is where we've got the potential tornado on the ground. It's going to move likely this direction, assuming that the camera is looking into it. And that would be my guess. So right down here is probably where we've got a tornado potentially on the ground moving this way. So luckily it shouldn't move right towards the camera. It'll kind of really move generally more like this. So kind of off to the side of the camera probably. Let's keep on watching it and see if we can kind of see anything. They're adjusting the camera for us here, which is nice. Definitely a lot of lightning with this one for sure. All right, so this is what it looks like on radar, folks, and we'll switch back and forth. So you see this tight couplet? I mean, I would be shocked if we don't have a tornado on the ground. Likely right now. Let's see if we have anything on correlation coefficient. Nothing showing it's getting lofted into the atmosphere right now, but that's a tight couplet. That's just north of Calhoun, just north of Flint, going to move right through northern Laurel towards the Shady Grove area, Hoy, Hawks into Saundersville eventually. And then up towards Heidelberg would be next in line. But right now, the immediate danger is in Laurel, Mississippi, specifically the north side of the city, up near Shady Grove. We've got Mississippi Highway 15, Mississippi Highway 537, moving towards U.S. Interstate 59. I mean, again, I would be shocked if this is not a tornado on the ground right now. Really would. Yeah, and good points in the chat. This is very likely rain wrapped. What we're looking at right now, you're probably staring at the tornado and you just don't know it. One, it's nighttime. That's the first problem. Second thing is this is a very high precip supercell, but where we've got this lightning over in the corner right here. Yeah, they're moving the camera right now as we're speaking. Right here is where the tornado probably is, somewhere in there. So it's hard to see it, but you can see the base of the storm here. Likely the wall cloud kind of hidden in between. So definitely a high precip supercell. Likely producing a tornado here. A question about New Orleans. New Orleans right now. Let's see if it'll go back to reflectivity. Yeah, nothing crazy happening in New Orleans. We got some storms off towards Baton Rouge. The city itself looks okay right now. Laurel, Mississippi, though, is the biggest concern right now on the map. And also to the north up near Quitman, we've got another kind of curly Q S-shaped storm in here. This one could also be causing some trouble. So inflow would likely be right into here. Go back to the velocity map. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Yeah, Laurel, this is the big signature by a mile right now. Laurel, Mississippi is the big one. Yeah, so it looks like right here a little bit of a lowering. It's hard to see. It's hidden in there, but you kind of see one layer of cloud here and then another layer right here. So I'd be willing to bet we've got our wall cloud right down in here. That's probably where, if there is a tornado, it would be. Somewhere back there, hidden in the rain and hidden in the Mississippi wilderness. It still looks strong on radar. I'm gonna zoom out, see if there's anything else catching my attention. Yeah, right, and here's where we're watching. This looks like the back end of the mezzo. So right here is where your storm is. You see where it's kind of tilting this way? That's the wind shear. So probably right in here. Somewhere back in there. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the stream, folks. That'll help more people see it. And obviously, the more people that see it, the more people we can get the warning out to here into Mississippi. And into portions of Alabama as well. Might have looked like something right into here. That last lightning flash, or it could have even been a power flash, but kind of hard to tell. Right in here, it looks, yeah, right there. It looks kind of like maybe something lower and right there. Oh yeah, okay, that might be the funnel right there. Actually, I think you might have just seen it lit up. That could be also the inflow tail. Again, it's hard to tell whenever we just get these little seconds worth of. So it's impossible to know the rating of this tornado right now. This could be an EF1, an EF2. Just looking at radar, I mean, it's a tight couplet. So again, likely just, if I had to get a preliminary guess, probably around EF1 or 2 or something like that. And it still may not even be on the ground, folks. The good news is the debris signature isn't really jumping out to me saying there's absolutely something on the ground. That's the good news. But obviously, you look at the structure of the storm here on the live cam, and it looks pretty good. Yeah, right in here. It looks. I would watch this area. Next time we get a big power flash, watch back in there, kind of between the lines. Ooh, big lightning bolt there. Yeah, okay, maybe right here. And it's hard to tell at night. If this was daytime, then this would be the perfect thing, the perfect tool to use. To kind of try to pick out the tornado, but so tough at night when we're relying on these lightning flashes or power flashes. Hopefully they get the camera focused here. There we go. That looks better. There's another lightning flash. Probably right in here's the mezzo, though. Right to the left of the center of the screen. Yeah, this is moving towards Saundersville, Mississippi now, about to cross U.S. to Interstate 59. So if you know anyone driving through here, let them know. All right, folks, and if all things go to plan and this warning can expire, then we'll be done for a second, and then we can start talking about snow. So hang in there with me. Just got to get through this storm, kind of moving through a highly populated area. So I want to stay on this while we have it, and we'll start talking snow. Also, I'm not controlling this camera. Somebody off in the wherever in Laurel, Mississippi is controlling it. So When they're moving it, I'm just kind of a passenger on the ride. For anyone just joining us again right now, we're looking at a tornado warned storm just north of Laurel, Mississippi. You can clearly see the rotation in it. Still tornado warned, tight couplet on radar. Just kind of trying to pick it out here from the sky cam that we're very lucky to be able to look at right now. A storm pulling away from the sky cam now, so here sooner than later it's not really going to be as useful to us. But right in here is the mesocyclone and likely where all that kind of updraft is into the storm. And that's where we're watching for that tornado potential. Also, we're about to start talking snow here soon, so if you came for the snow aspect of this, we will get there. Don't worry. Right around the corner. Somebody asking about I-10. We can go ahead and kind of zoom out a little bit. So if we kind of look at just the more national view here of the radar, I-10, you can kind of see where the problems are down here. I-10's fine in Florida. We've got some trouble in Mississippi and then back into Louisiana. So it's just this big warm sector we're dealing with from Montgomery to Selma, back to Meridian, and then towards Laurel, where we're dealing with this storm. Anything that gets going in here has the potential to become a problem. So specifically kind of these storms down into Alabama. We had a tornado warning there not long ago. I believe has since expired. We can check on that. Yeah, so nothing back here right now towards Thomasville, but still an impressive looking storm. You can see it here on radar in kind of this warm sector. That's where we're watching for potential new tornado warnings to be issued. I would argue the rotation's gotten a little bit weaker. And look down south, there's looks like another area kind of getting going. So we might need to watch that. Yeah, so if you kind of look at the line here, Laurel, you're not done yet, potentially. We've got that storm that just moved off to your north. Back down to your seminary, another area getting going, then south there near, was that Sumrall? Also trying to get some rotation going. So one storm, two storms, three storms, kind of all lined up here, moving in the same general direction. I just got a report of 1.25 inches of freezing rain total up in parts of Southwest Virginia, Appomattox County, Virginia. That's crazy. That is a lot of ice, folks. Wow. Yeah. So obviously, severe weather not the only thing that unfortunately has been in the cards over the past little bit. All right, so the tornado warning is continuing. Again, this is moving just right through Saundersville right now, moving into a slightly less populated area. If you're south of Heidelberg, could see impacts out of this and kind of surrounding areas there. So still watching that one. All right, let's talk snow a little bit. How about that? Again, still watching the tornado warnings. If anything jumps out to be a big deal, we will go back to it. But for now, let's talk about a little bit of snow. Again, all the snow right now really up into Michigan. That's where the fun stuff's happening. In fact, let's see if we can get a sky cam up into Michigan. Let me try to find that. Let's see if we've got any. We might not have them this far north. They might only be down south. That's okay. You know what? Let me find a little sky cam up in Michigan and let me pull that up. So keep watching that and I will look for one. All right, let's see if we can. Let me see where the heaviest snow is really quickly. Probably near Lansing. Let's see if we can get a sky cam near Lansing. All right, so here's what it looks like up in Michigan right now, everybody. Yeah, you can see the snow-covered roads. This is I-96 at US 127. Not hard to kind of see that we're starting to run into travel issues up here. So a little bit of everything right now. Tornadoes, heavy snow. I mean, what a crazy year it has been so far. And it doesn't seem to be letting up at all either. If you're watching somewhere where it's snowing, let me know. Definitely would love to get those reports. Oh, yeah, the velocity is starting to pick up again here on this storm. Just south of Heidelberg, off to the northeast of Saundersville, Mississippi, heading up near towards Quitman. Goodwater, Mississippi in the path of this one. Eventually going to cross Mississippi Highway 45, probably within the next 30 minutes. Looks like a new tornado warning now up near Alabama. Let's look at this one. Again, I'm not, I guess the Jackson radar is still probably the best. Might be able to use the Birmingham radar. Might give us something. Let's see. That's not going to do us much good. This is newly issued tornado warning in Alabama. This is for, let's see if we can get a county on this one. This is for northern Choctaw County in southwestern Alabama. You can see that they just issued it right here, another one. So here's our area of rotation. Kind of broad, and unfortunately, we're kind of between radar sites here as well. We look at reflectivity. Basically what it is it's this storm right here. It's kind of the tail end of it. So you can kind of see this embedded supercell within the line. Again, kind of a messy look to it, but you get the general idea on where the inflow for that would be. The potential areas in the path of this one likely moving towards, let's see here. really not towards a whole lot. Pelham, Alabama, Chapel Hill, Alabama, Indian Springs, Edna, Persimmon Grove, Whitfield, Alabama. And, eventually, kind of going to cross Alabama Highway 17 south of US Highway 80. That storm will. So definitely just only radar indicator right now. Not anything jumping out saying, this is absolutely a tornado on the ground, but a new warning to mention there out of that one. Now, the Laurel storm is looking a little bit stronger. Also, what's down here? This looks slightly suspicious near Hattiesburg. Yeah, it's starting to get there. So we've got a couple areas of rotation down into Mississippi. Obviously, the Laurel storm continuing to be a problem. Let's make sure we're at the right tilt angle on the radar here. Yeah, north of Hattiesburg, kind of two areas I'm watching. One just west of Ellisville, and another just northwest of Hattiesburg. This area with the X over, that one looks pretty hooky on reflectivity, if you will. I just made up the word hooky. It's not a real thing, but you get the point. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see some new warnings get issued down here near Hattiesburg. So this specifically right here, that doesn't look great. All right, the storm up near Laurel still looking problematic. Yeah, not great. See if we have an update from the NWS on this one. They haven't expanded the warning. It doesn't look like. They're still calling it radar indicated. That's as of. All right, let's see if the internet wants to play nice or not. All right, hopefully. Sorry, folks, we're having a bit of an internet hiccup tonight. I don't know why it's kind of in a bad mood, but it's Wednesday and the weather, at least where I'm at in Charlotte, is just gross. So maybe the internet is feeling the same way I am about today. All right, should be back to functional better. So I apologize about that. Again, if it freezes up for a while, whenever it comes back, just refresh it. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I work with the resources I have. So. So the storms in general down near Mississippi are starting to become upscale, as we say. And basically, what that means is, if we kind of zoom in on a different radar, they're becoming a little bit more linear in nature. So that's the good news. In fact, let me refresh this page real quick. Actually, go back to the Laurel Sky Cam. Still plenty of lightning going on. So. All right, so if we look at the kind of overall look at this, the storm is becoming pretty upscale in nature. So it's basically becoming a line of storms. You can see that through Mississippi here, kind of just this big area of storminess. Now, a couple of storms out in front of it still. That's where we're going to continue to watch for tornado potential. A cluster here near Selma, back down towards Mobile. Any of these, should they feel the need to get their act together, could become a problem. We've got plenty useful enough warm sector out in front of it, but even these eventually will get kind of brought into this main line back into Alabama and Mississippi. Somebody asking, is Biloxi, Mississippi going to get a waterspout tornado? Well, right now in Biloxi, nothing really nearby. So probably not right now. It looks like they did just extend. Well, maybe not actually. I know it looks like they might have just extended this tornado warning. Let's see. Yeah, so a tornado warning was extended. Still radar indicated rotation. Places in the way of this would be, let's see if I get this right, Shibuda, something like that. Shibuda, Mississippi, DeSoto, around 7:15 local time. Equipment around 7:20 Central. Crondall around 7:25 Central, and Sykes around 7:30 Central. So still watching that storm that moved through Laurel for potential tornado shenanigans here. And looking at velocity on it, yeah, still very tight rotation. So just north of Shibuda, again, if I'm butchering the name of that one, I'm sorry. Going right through Sumrall here in a minute. This all in Mississippi. This is Mississippi Highway 145, north of Waynesboro by a good bit, kind of northeast of Saundersville. So, I mean, again, you zoom out, it's not hard to find that little area of rotation. Pretty easy to find here. Right now, it looks like this is our only tornado warning. Yeah, we've got, it looks to be the only warning currently. So that's the good news. Only one tornado warning right now. Only radar indicated, although the more you look at it, the more it starts to look like that might get upgraded to radar confirmed. Nothing on correlation coefficient, screaming debris, but that is a tight rotation. Again, this moving towards the area just north of Shibuda, towards Sumrall. So, again, this is right off of Mississippi Highway 45, or US Highway 45, I guess. Not a lot through here, luckily. Looks like some buildings, maybe a parking lot of some sort. But definitely need to watch this area. It's a very tight rotation. About to cross on through. Sorry, I'm reading warnings and stuff right now. See if we have any new info. All right, again, folks, strong rotation here. About to move north of Shibuda, Mississippi. That's a fun town name, Shibuda. I like that. Let me know if anyone in the chat is from or ever been to Shibuda, Mississippi. It's a kind of interesting name, isn't it? Only warning right now as well. I'm going to time it out a little bit or just look at the past, kind of see how this has evolved. So you see it moved through Laurel and then kind of began to cycle a little bit near Saundersville and then kind of ramped back up. Between Quitman and Shibuda, that's where this one is going. Right between the two. Good news is once this passes between Shibuda and Quitman, it kind of enters an area of more, I won't say quiet, but we're getting out of the highly populated areas of Laurel and Heidelberg. Now, obviously, the people here still matter, but there's less people for it to hit, so that is good news. But kind of looking ahead, again, moving through Summerall in a minute. After that, Junction City, Carmichael, Horn, Crandall, Fayetteville, into Shiloh, all of these in Mississippi. The county name here, see if we get a county name for you. This is in Central Clark County. Central Clark County in Mississippi. So this is south of Meridian by a good bit, northeast of Hattiesburg by a good bit, kind of directly between the two. And eventually, should it keep up, would make it towards the Butler, Alabama area. And, we'll see what it does after that. But hoping that it kind of loses steam a little bit here. What we can do, I love talking about meteorology, so let's kind of talk about the ingredients here just a little bit and kind of look at what we're dealing with. So we've got plenty of shear out there. If we look at our Cape values, our storm kind of right into here, it is leaving some of the higher end Cape and getting into an area a little bit more stable. So that's some good news. As we keep on looking ahead, kind of moving towards a more stable environment. It's another reason why that storm in Alabama, if we go back over and look at that, see if I can find it, kind of these storms up near Thomasville. The reason that this one has kind of lost some of its juice a little bit is moving into a more stable environment where we have some cooler temperatures that we're working with. So that is the good news. But still dealing with this area near Shibuda and Quitman. Good news overall, today hasn't been off the charts. I wouldn't call it a tornado outbreak or anything like that. So that is definitely the good news today. So sorry, I was just I was watching a little bit of Max Velocity stream. For a lot of folks probably know Max Velocity. He does the same thing I'm doing right now, but he's doing it on his own channel. And I was looking at his little chat goal he had. And if you got a certain amount of donations, he'll show Cheese Curd, and that's his cat, if you don't know. So I'm starting to think, maybe I need to get a cat, Maybe I need to get a dog or something for the stream. I'll imagine a little GMWeather dog. Now, if I did get a pet, it would definitely be a puppy. Y'all let me know what your go-to pet is. I think I like puppies. The good things about cats is they're easier to take care of. And as a college kid, I do not have a lot of time to take care of any animal, so it's kind of out of the question anyway. But hey, real time storms, thanks for joining us. Welcome in. But wouldn't a puppy be cute? A little golden retriever puppy? Oh man, I would like that. I would like that. I'll be the first to say it. Rowan, if you're still in here moderating, if I get a puppy, then you're taking care of it when I can't. Just so you know, that's your job now. Cats are therapeutic. Cats are cute. Growing up, we had all sorts of animals back home. We had dogs, cats. So I think I kind of got dogged out and catted out, whatever you want to say, for a while there. But now that I've been away from home for heck almost about a year and a half now. I haven't lived back in South Carolina, so I do miss having a pet a little bit every now and then. Would be nice. Would be nice. All right, so rotation north of Shibuya is still a problem. South equipment still a problem here. You can kind of see it. It is strong, moving right through this region. A lot of lightning with this storm. About to cross again, U.S. Highway 45, right near DeSoto, Mississippi, and Sumrall. We got a correlation coefficient. Still nothing jumping out saying we've got a huge debris signature. That's good. Also, it doesn't look like any other tornado warnings currently, but keep on watching it here. This is the supercell. I mean, you can see the supercell kind of embedded in the flow here. It's right here. Right here's our rotation. So moving up near Butler, Alabama in the long run. Got a ways to go till it gets there, but that'll be the general area that we're watching. Yeah, it does seem like a lot of weather people have cats. I know Mitch. A lot of y'all know Mitch. He's got plenty of cats. So, oh, needs something though. Needs something. Need something other than calculus in my life. And I tell y'all, yeah, looking at these tornado warnings, I am ready to get chasing again. I haven't been on a storm chase in a while. I need a good Carolina marginal day. Oh boy, would I love that. I would love. That's a good point. Maybe it's raining cats and dogs has something to do with that. Yeah, that makes sense. Why not? Why not? Ready for storm chase though. Absolutely am. Man, this is the first time I've gone like live for tornado coverage, and this is kind of a lot more exhausting than than just talking about the weather. Also, though, I'll be honest, y'all, it has been just an exhausting year so far. Like this year has been nonstop with school. I mean, it's like the second you turn in one assignment, they hand you three as like your reward for doing it. Like that's what it feels like. It has just been crazy. I don't know what their deal is. 1 year to go though. 1 year to go, and then off to the real world. I guess get a job or I don't know, whatever people do after they graduate. something like that. Another thing I'm waiting on is for my calculus professor to put in the grade of my test, and he just will not do it. I don't know. He said this afternoon it would be in. It's not. So, I don't know. It's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday this weekend going to be crazy. We'll probably go live again Saturday night. Won't be live tomorrow night. I have a function to go to. By function, I mean it's like a Valentine's pizza party. Not for me, but for I have to host it kind of thing. So that'll be tomorrow night's plans for me. And then Friday night, I'll probably just relax for a minute and kind of breathe in, breathe out, take a night off, and then Saturday we'll hit the ground running again. Probably start going live in the afternoon and just hit the severe weather threat home hard. Kind of like what we did tonight, but probably with more severe weather to cover. It's kind of tough. Again, people like Max Velocity, Ryan Hall, kudos to them, but they've got like a monopoly on this thing. So I'm trying to get my foot in the door on the severe weather coverage. I want to do more of it this spring. But tonight really kind of is just a good little trial run for it. So I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Excuse me. And kind of going with any kinks in the flow and kinks in the plan here. But yeah, come springtime as we get a little bit closer, hopefully I can figure out the streaming things a little bit more. I might have to get like a real life moderator. Rowan, obviously you're here moderating if you're still here listening, but I might need to get somebody like in the chat to talk to. Or somebody to like do graphics behind the scenes. I don't know. I've kind of hit that point in YouTube growth where I'm kind of outgrowing what I can do, or outgrowing my setup in a way, I guess is a better way to put it. Now, not to say I need like 20,000 monitors and all, but having like somebody behind the scenes doing stuff and me just being able to talk would be so nice. Maybe I need to look into that. I don't know. We'll see. We're at 36K subs now. So, we're getting close to 40K, and I think we'll probably get there by the time winter is over, or at least close to it. Yeah, it's interesting times on the channel. Exciting times. All right, no new tornado warnings. Honestly, folks, probably going to give this another 5 or 10 minutes. Kind of watch this one. Still rotating pretty rapidly. They haven't updated the warning, I don't think, anytime recently. Let's see. Yeah, 7:09 Central. So about like 20 minutes ago was the last time we got an update. Still looks like strong rotation. I mean, it's still there. Nothing showing up big on debris signature. Still a supercell. I mean, kind of, again, moving to the same areas. Sells Prairie, Carmichael, Junction City, Brewer, Manassas, Crandall, Threadville, Shiloh, Pine Ridge, all those areas in Mississippi. This off to the south and east of Quitman, and then potentially trying to get up towards Butler, Alabama. But again, this is going to run into some more stable air soon as it gets into Alabama. That should help to lower the tornado threat a bit once we get there. Also, some rotation down here south of Laurel. That's worthy of noting. See what that looks like on reflectivity. Kind of, again, embedded. These are very high precip cells, so it's kind of just a mess, real mess out here. I appreciate that, Binks. Thanks for getting the word out. Tim says, still freezing rain in central VA. Y'all cannot catch a break up there. Tim, how much ice have you gotten? Let me know in the chat. I mean, it has been crazy for y'all out of this storm. Yeah, Leslie, the thing about like Max, and by the way, I have a lot of respect for Max, and we talk from time to time. His videos are just shorter. So the whole 10-minute thing, like I just can't imagine it. And if I ever do go to something like that, I'll make up for it with live streams. I just like talking meteorology though and breaking down the nitty gritty. Um, I just something I like to do. So it's hard for me to imagine only I get it. It's what YouTube kind of supports, and like him and Ryan Hall both, like they one thing about them, they've got it figured out. They've got the algorithm figured out. They've got the whole YouTube system figured out. I'm kind of still the new kid on the block, in a sense. I've been here for about 2 years now, but in terms of the growth we've seen the past couple of months, I'm definitely one of the newer, not big channels. I wouldn't count me as a big channel, but moderately sized weather channels on YouTube. So learning the landscape, and luckily I'm a whopping old 21-year-old, so I've got plenty of years to figure it out, and I am very excited to do that. Learn more about kind of the landscape. Another thing is just like it kind of makes you wonder what in the world my job's going to look like by the time I graduate. Will it be like a normal TV job? Will it be something like this? Will it be kind of in between? Really don't know. Really don't know. Thanks for that report, Tim. That's interesting. You went back to rain during the day, now back to freezing rain. Yeah, icy mess up there. I know a lot of power outages for sure have been a problem. This rotation, folks, it's still there. It's getting tighter. I would kind of point out. Yeah, tighter. It's kind of stayed about the same, I guess. There's still a tight area. I'm surprised we don't have a debris signature. Honestly, we'll look at another radar kind of off camera here and see if maybe that one has more of a CC drop or something along those lines. My roommate upstairs sounds like he's moving the earth. Yeah, it's still got a lot of rotation. Very interesting. There's not a CC drop. All right, let's zoom out a little bit and see what else is out in the world. Jazz says in the very beginning you had a ton of mic issues, if I recall. Are you talking about tonight, or are you talking about like in the beginning of the channel? Because you're talking about the beginning of the channel, yeah, it took me a little while to get the whole thing figured out setup wise. Now I've got this nice fancy boom arm, and that makes it better for sure. All right, I was gonna zoom out. Let's see if we got any other cells anywhere, and if not, folks, we'll probably end it here. We've only got one storm, so not a huge deal so far. Yeah, get up here towards Selma, Montgomery. You look at the storm, it's a pretty good looking storm, you would think. You look at velocity, and not so much the reason for that. Just running into a more stable environment, losing some of that cape, that thunderstorm fuel. Down south, though, if you're kind of down here into, looks like we just got updated on tornado warning. We'll look at. We've got some cells down here. They're just kind of struggling to break through the cap. So we've got these more showers than anything. So we'll see if they get their act together overnight. Kind of losing that instability the deeper we go into the overnight, though. Update on this tornado warning, the only one we've got out there. Still radar indicated rotation. Remains in effect. The tornado warning does until 8 p.m. Central Time. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Crandall, or 7 miles southeast of Quitman, moving northeast at 45. Really more of just the same that we already knew, in all honesty. So, but rotation is definitely still there. Christy, it is like waiting for a fish to bite, and that's how it feels storm chasing. Obviously, I never root for a tornado to like destroy anything, but I will always root for a tornado in a field. If it's not gonna cause problems anywhere, well, why not, right? Like, who's it gonna hurt? Definitely not gonna hurt my camera that gets to take a picture of it. So, It's kind of like fishing, storm chasing is. Now, obviously, we don't want this one to produce. It's moving through a populated area, but those big tornadoes back out into Oklahoma. Heck, even some of the tornadoes I've seen out here towards like Florence, South Carolina, in this area. I saw one in Marion back in May. That one didn't really do much. Now, it did kind of clip the city a little bit, but I saw it kind of out over these fields, and that was quite the sight to see. So, little tangent about my life, but obviously, this tornado warning is a bigger deal. All right, folks. Well, honestly, things are quieting down. So I think we'll probably end it here. I'll try to get a good night of sleep for the first time in forever, as the song goes, right? The old Disney song. Yeah, no stream tomorrow night. I'll be back tomorrow morning, like usual. Nothing different there. And we'll keep on trucking on through 2025. So yeah, thanks for joining me tonight. Kind of a practice run for what Saturday night could look like as we kind of do more of the same. And I try to figure out this whole live streaming during tornado coverage thing. But excited about it, and excited to get better at it, and excited to bring you along with me. So y'all have a great one. Stay safe. Obviously, one last tornado warning ongoing. Moving into a more stable environment, so hopefully it dies off here over the next little bit. But definitely you can tune into other places for info on that. All right, y'all have a great one. Have a safe night. I'll see you all tomorrow morning.